he works in a garage. He's confused, right? He knows everything about cars, and he has to deal with a lot of people. And yeah, look, he could call me. I don't know. He could call me Mr. Rabbit or something. You know, I would. He could. He could do.
And is your car okay? It's repaired?
Yes, for €1,000. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Plus the work and the extras and
No.
yeah. There was the work before there. Yes. And so.
Like new one.
I wish. If I'm paying €1,000, I expect to get something back, which is fantastic. And
You will buy a new one?
no. I want to sell my car, and I don't intend to buy a new car. I have had a car for 10 years, and I can't justify the expense. It's costing so much money to keep the car on the road, and I could take that money and invest it in other things which would bring more benefit. And so I know that some people see a car as a necessity, and I understand for some businesses it is, and some people can't live without a car, and that's okay. I don't see it that way anymore. I don't really care. Obviously, there's so much more you can do if you have your own transportation, but that's not my focus at the moment. I'm on.
When you are living in Bistrica, not in Rastoka, it was different.
Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely necessary to have a car living in the middle of nowhere. But now it's not so necessary. It's an extra expense. It's an extra worry. I've always got in the back of my mind, this, it's going to break down, or there's going to be some problem or whatever. And after paying an extra €1,000 last week, it's like, yeah. One of my observations is connected with the leasing principle, which is that. I think the world is moving more towards renting and leasing. Now, when you own things, there are two advantages. I can't think of what they are. You can make money from the ownership of things. Basically, that's the big advantage, and that's the principle of private property. But with that also comes a big responsibility as well. So the more things you own, the more responsibilities you have. And there's a fine, thin line between owning things and things owning you. And it's got to that point with certain things where it's like, do I own the car, or does the car own me? Because of all the responsibilities and everything that I have to take care, and what could I do that's different in my life if I didn't have that responsibility? Could I take that time and that effort, that energy, and refocus it and purpose it onto something else? And so that's my focus. That's my focus. It's a minimalist approach. It's simplify. Crazily enough, I want to get my life down to one bag. That's my aim. Now, this is outside of family. Family is something else, but I want to get everything down to, I can put everything in a rucksack that I need, and that's it. And I don't really need that much more. And so this is my whole focus for the year. House gone, car gone, office space gone. I'm disconnecting myself from every single piece of property that I have, with the aim of reconstructing and rebuilding everything, or just getting everything down to simple things, because I really do feel the ownership problem of, I have all these things and what I don't know if you've ever looked at a shelf and think, why do I have this stuff? What is this doing here? Why is this not even, I don't even need it or use it or look at it, and it's, how long is it going to be there for, and what's going to happen with it? And so I don't know, which is completely different from my perspective 5 years ago. 5 years ago I was property and private ownership and build things and house and car, and now my opinion is, it's like it. I'm not crazy, am I? Because I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried that, unless we're both crazy, of course.
More free, you feel freedom, absolutely.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, but I know that there's the point that I want to get to. There's something psychological about the need to purchase and own things.
Yes.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything that I have purchased, I felt was an absolute necessity at the time. But I'm also very much aware that it never really solved any problem. It never really solved any problem. It's just an observation from my own life that I think okay, I can go forward if I get this, or I have this, or I do this, and I sometimes feel like it's reorganization of everything just to have the same things again. Does that make sense? I'm not even sure I can explain it. That like I wanted to make some special videos to promote my work, and I was looking at different technology, and I thought, well, if I have this kind of phone, I can make these special videos and I can edit them, and so I got the phone, I made the special videos and I edited them and I did that, and I thought, right, oh, okay, what now? Like nothing really changed. Do I want things to change? Can they change? I don't even know. I don't know if things can really or truly change. But I definitely feel like I'm a collector, and I don't want to be. Like I just the books. It's the books that I've got that I'm not going to read that I have. It's
Will come in our club.
It's
Yes,
absolutely.
all collectors.
it's almost driving me insane, which is why I embrace the technology so much, because I can get all the books and put them in the tablet, and instead of having all the books, even though the books are nice to have. It's crazy. All the paper. I've got folders of work from 10 years ago, and why do I even have it? I'm not even sure. So it's all about how we feel, I think. There's only two drivers. There's the driver of logic and the driver of emotion in human experience, and we're driven by logical processes to get somewhere, or we're driven by emotional responses to our environment. And I really don't know what it is for me personally, but I don't want to feel tied to all of these things that I have around about me, and it doesn't really matter what I've done that I thought was going to make things better. It changed things, and things happened, but did they get better, or was it just a different way of looking at the same thing again? I'm not even sure, but perhaps we do make little steps of progress, and we do need people to do the opposite of what I'm doing, because if we didn't build hospitals and have doctors and train them and yeah, I don't know, have dentists with their office in one place and decide to do things and have those businesses, and then we couldn't have anything at all. But at the same time, because we have that, it does give us a little bit of freedom that we can do something different. It's like if you do own a building and you do rent spaces to businesses, you can afford from time to time to go away on holiday for a week somewhere, right? Because you deserve it because of the system that you've built for yourself. I just feel tied to things, and it's starting to frustrate me a little bit and get on my nerves a little bit, and I wonder what life will be like if I can create a little bit more space for myself, a little bit more freedom for myself, and maybe nothing will change. Maybe I'll just find that it's just another way of reorganizing everything to make it exactly the same again, and that nothing will really change. But one thing is for sure. Oh, this is what I tell myself, and there's a background to this. I explain this. It's the principle of stories. The whole world is created from stories. Everything is a story. What we tell ourselves about our lives is a story. What we listen to other people talking about is a story. Marketing is a story. The Bible is a story. Religion is a story. The churches are a story. Every single thing that is part of a story. A story, yeah. Everything is stories, and the creation of stories and the retelling of stories. That's all human history is. And I'm sort of I'm telling myself a story, but I don't even know if the story is real. I'm telling myself this is why I'm doing this, but I don't even know if that's real, because we tell ourselves whatever we need to tell ourselves to do whatever it is we need to do that we feel is okay. You know, it's like, in a crazy sense, it's like why we have terrorism, because like someone tells themselves that they need to blow up this subway train somewhere because that's going to make the world a better place. It's just a story. Or like why, I need to buy this book. You don't really need to buy the book. It might have a positive effect on your life, might not. I mean, who really knows? But it's a story you tell yourself, because you convince yourself that whatever you're doing is the right thing. Whether you're a car mechanic, or you're a shop assistant, or you're the director of a company, you tell yourself that what you're doing is the right thing. You convince yourself, you persuade yourself with a story. And that's all that humanity is, and the interactions are. So I'm telling myself a story to convince myself that I need to do something, but I don't even know if that story's true. And I think it's only if you have a philosophical, reflective mindset that you can end up in this stupid contradictory problem, which is, I know I need to do something, but I also know I'm probably just telling myself that I need to do something, which means I don't actually really need to do it. So what is he talking about? But there's the classic story of history is that reorganization is the illusion of progress. That the moment we begin to understand things, we reorganize them to make things better. But that just means having to relearn the same things over and over again. Does humanity progress? Hopefully, probably, but then we're just still trapped in the stories that we tell ourselves. You know, what is the internet? It's a story of communication. What do we find on the internet? What's YouTube? It's just people's stories. What's following people? It's just people's stories that you like. Every single thing is a story, which might or might not even be true. We don't know, and so we're trapped in this kind of existence. So that's my confusing mindset at the moment. It's that I can see one version of a story, and I don't want that, which is that it's the brutal perspective that I think some people are dead already. They're not in the ground, they're not in graves, but nothing for them is ever going to change. They're not going to have any new experiences. They're not enjoying what they're doing, and they're trapped in a sort of downward spiral. I see a lot of people like that, and I really want to try to avoid that. But then that's the problem, because whatever you focus on, you give your energy to. And if you focus on the negative, then you give your energy to the negative. And by trying to fight against something, you give it energy. Isn't it better just to ignore it? Probably. But then where does that leave us? Oh, we're like back at the start again. So I'm not sure. But I think that the experience of trying to do something different will be a learning experience. Whether or not I just learn that nothing changes, I don't know. I don't know. It create space, create opportunity. Can't do the same thing forever. Or maybe you can. Some people are happy with that. Some people, their father the father worked with horses, and they work with horses, and their whole lives are horses, and they're really happy. Okay. That's cool. And I completely forgot what the original point of the conversation was. I have no idea. I've completely lost the point.